Hello everyone, I'm Brian Miller, and this is the NewsNet Weekly Roundup, the weekly show where I break down the biggest news stories out of the Star Wars universe. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell to be notified anytime there's new content. Without further ado, let's get started. Disney has unveiled a new event next month where, among other things, there'll be an extensive panel providing updates for future installments of franchises, films, and shows. The event commemorates the centennial celebration of the Walt Disney Company. As per deadline, Disney has revealed its full schedule for Destination D23 announcements and panels, which will be held in Orlando, Florida at Disney's Contemporary Resort. Friday does not have any panels and is dedicated to shoppers and collectors, but Saturday and Sunday have major panels. Those taking place on Saturday, September 9th, will be live streamed. The main event is the Walt Disney Studios Showcase on Sunday, which lasts for 90 minutes and will cover a variety of projects that are developed by the company and its various silos. It's possible that we'll get some Star Wars news at this event, but nothing about what will be showcased at Destination D23 has been announced or even hinted at. Interestingly, Ahsoka Tano voice actress Ashley Eckstein will host the 100 Years of Classic Characters Unforgettable Stories panel. News coming out of the convention should be complicated by the ongoing writers and actor strike. Typically, major presentations feature directors and actors taking the stage to accompany major announcements. Unless a deal is reached in the very near future, actors who will sit that out as part of their show of solidarity and directors who double as writers on their projects may also choose to stay back accordingly. However, the studio heads are free to make announcements concerning new creative talent working in front of or behind the camera on various projects, as long as they're hired prior to the start of the strike. Tickets for the event have already sold out, but the Saturday panels will be live streamed. In surprising news, Disney has decided to release the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian on Blu-ray and 4K UHD in the coming future. They'll be available for pre-order next Monday on August 28th, ahead of its release on December 12th, according to Fandom.com's Eric Goldman, who also posted pictures of the set. Variety also included the date on their report. The series had only been available on Disney Plus until this point, like every other Star Wars live-action series, but is now getting a physical release. According to the Wrap, it will be available both as a collector's edition 4K UHD and Blu-ray on release, including steelbook packaging, sporting new box art, concept art cards, and never-before-seen bonus features. It'd be nice if Disney Gallery specials for each season were also included, but it's unclear if that's part of the package or not. There's also no information on how much the Blu-rays will cost. The Mandalorian will be joined by Marvel series WandaVision and Season 1 of Loki, both of which came out after Seasons 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian in 2021. It would seem Disney is focusing on these early Disney Plus series first and will presumably roll out physical media releases for later series in the coming years. While the news comes out right after Disney announced they would be pulling the plug on physical media releases in Australia, it's likely another indicator that Bob Iger is looking for easy and quick ways to cash in. Though it's not confirmed if more Star Wars series will be getting a physical release, it seems wise to expect Blu-ray and 4K versions of The Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor, and The Mandalorian Season 3 in the next year or two, as Disney looks for more ways to increase revenue. Recent releases like Andor and the 3rd season of The Mandalorian are probably still a ways away though, as Disney would likely prefer to keep the streaming exclusivity window for high-profile original series as long as possible. In the meantime, though, Seasons 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian will make handy Christmas gifts for many a Star Wars fan this year. Star Wars Dark Forces, the very first title to take the galaxy far, far away into the realm of the first-person shooter game, is getting a remaster for modern consoles. As part of the 2023 Gamescom convention, it's been revealed that Night Dive Studios, which recently remastered old FPS titles like System Shock and Quake 2, will be remastering one of the most iconic Star Wars games of the LucasArts era. According to IGN, the Dark Forces cutscenes will be remastered to feature 3D models and illustrated characters instead of relying on animated sprites. While the visuals of the gameplay have not changed substantially, Night Dive's Kex engine has allowed for the visuals to be upscaled to 4K resolution, 60 frames per second gameplay, widescreen support, and the ability to better adjust your controls to fit your preferred style of gameplay than what you could do nearly 3 decades ago when the game was first playable. Dark Forces came out in 1995. Around that time, the first-person shooter titles were known as Doom clones, after the Doom series that ID Software pioneered in 1993 and its sequel, Doom 2 Hell on Earth, in 1994. While it lacked a multiplayer component, Dark Forces still improved upon its spiritual predecessor in that it had elements such as voice-acted cutscenes, more dynamic environments, such as maps and multiple floors, and even the ability to properly look up and down, features that made it stand out among its early peers in the genre. The game featured appearances from existing Star Wars characters including Darth Vader, Boba Fett, Mon Mothma, and Crix Maydeen, but also introduced players to the likes of Kyle Katarn and Jan Ors. The Star Wars game put players into the shoes of former Stormtrooper Kyle Katarn, who defected from the Empire and stole and delivered the Death Star plans to the Alliance to restore the Republic in the game's prologue mission, setting the events of A New Hope into motion. The main story of the game happens a year later when Katarn is given a new assignment: investigate and destroy a new series of weapons known as the Dark Troopers, an army of battle droids that could give the Galactic Empire an edge in destroying the struggling rebellion. Katarn would go on to become a Jedi in follow-up titles and became a fan favorite, with some still hoping that he may be canonized. No official release date for the Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster has been revealed at this time, although the copyright information in the trailer mentions 2023, suggesting that the game may arrive later this year. And finally, we have some new canon for you this week. The first 2 episodes of the highly anticipated series Ahsoka debuted on Tuesday, as well as comic issue Dr. Aphra number 35 on Wednesday. Reviews for those entries into the canon timeline can be found on our website. And that does it for your Newsnet Weekly Roundup this week. All of these stories and more can be found in greater detail on our website, StarWarsNewsNet.com. Don't forget to check back regularly for updates to stories and breaking news out of the Star Wars universe. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also follow me on Twitter at BrianMiller1138 and catch me each week on my show, the Star Wars Canon Podcast. Until next time, may the Force be with you.